Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Brownstone. I'm Paulette, and I'm a part of Brownstone Worldwide. We're in the Brownstone Worldwide studios. And guess what, folks? It is Wednesday, hump day. We've got news and information that we need to cover for you guys today. And check this out. We're going to be talking again about two of the courses that are a part of the Brownstone Worldwide course yard. One is Brownstone Podcast University. We're going to also be talking about the Magic Book. Welcome to all of our friends who are a part of our podcast or broadcast right now on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Bigo, and also TikTok. Welcome, everybody. I would like to say hello, but I don't even know how to say that particular name. Hey, Canton 275. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. For those of you all who are unfamiliar on how we do this, the first thing that we like to do is to give you the news and information that you can use from the Brownstone Podcast Network app. Alan Edwards has so lovingly put together all of this information for us at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So when we arrive in the studio, the first thing that we're able to get the news and information that you can use. What I'm going to do right here on this particular screen. So for those of you all who are on TikTok or Bigo or even on Facebook and Instagram, not Instagram, but LinkedIn and all these other places, there's a backdrop behind me, right? On Instagram, it's a green screen because there is no way for me to create that effect. And until I figure it out, you guys are going to get just that. But anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and give you the news and information that you can use. You guys are still going to be able to see me if you're on all of the other three platforms, right? But you guys here are going to get something really super cute. Like, let's give you some of the folks that have been a part of the Brownstone for some time. Let's go ahead and get these news and information that you can use. And let me take a quick breather. How about that? Have some coffee.
The 9 nuclear-armed states continue to modernize their arsenals, and several deployed new nuclear-armed or nuclear-capable weapon systems in 2022, a Swedish think tank said.
"We are drifting into one of the most dangerous periods in human history," said Dan Smith, director of the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. It's estimated that of the total global inventory of 12,512 warheads in January 2023, some 9,576 were in military stockpiles for potential use. Guy Davis reporting.
Former President Donald Trump made his first court appearance Tuesday after being indicted on 37 charges related to the mishandling of classified documents. The indictment marks the first time in U.S. history that a former president faces criminal charges by the federal government he once oversaw.
Trump's motorcade arrived Tuesday afternoon at the courthouse shortly before he was scheduled to appear before a magistrate judge, then pleaded not guilty. This is a stunning moment in American history, days after he became the first former president charged with federal crimes. It's the second criminal case Trump is facing as he seeks to reclaim the White House in 2024. Davis Richards reporting.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy appeared Monday to have resolved for now an impasse that with some of the more conservative members of his caucus who had brought the chamber to a standstill last week.
McCarthy met with nearly a dozen lawmakers in his office in an effort to quell a revolt and jumpstart various priorities that had stalled last week amid the GOP infighting. He called it a productive meeting where everybody's attitude was, how do we find where we all work together? Clara Hudson reporting.
South Carolina Senator Tim Scott is rolling out endorsements from more than 140 current and former elected officials from his home state of South Carolina, aiming to make a show of force in the first in the South presidential primary state.
The backing comes as Scott and other presidential contenders aim to carry on with their campaigns as much of the political world parses the indictment of GOP frontrunner Donald Trump on dozens of federal charges. Haley White reporting.
This is the latest news headlines. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed into law that says it will make Illinois the first state in the nation to outlaw book bans. Illinois public libraries that restrict or ban materials because of partisan or doctrinal disapproval will be ineligible for state funding as of January 1st, 2024, when the new law goes into effect. We are not saying that every book should be in every single library, said the Illinois Secretary of State, who is also the state librarian and was the driving force behind the legislation. A judge denied the pretrial release of Corey Richens, a Utah widow accused of killing her husband before she authored a children's book about grief, saying she must remain in custody pending the outcome of her trial due to the substantial evidence against her. The judge's decision to deny bail came as new details about the widow's alleged search history emerged as part of the case against the 33-year-old who appeared in Park City, Utah court on Monday. What is a lethal dose of fentanyl was one of the many phone searches the investigators say were made by Corey Richens. Pat Sajak is preparing to spin the wheel on television's long-running game show, The Wheel of Fortune, for the last time. Sajak gave no indication of who may replace him, but Suzanne Preet, Executive Vice President of Game Show at Sony Picture Television, the studio that produces Wheel, told CNN in a statement that Sajak will continue as a consultant on the show for 3 years following his last year hosting. Baby boomers are living it up, splurging on cruises and restaurants. Younger Americans are struggling just to keep up. Bank of America internal data shows a significant gap in spending has opened recently between older and younger generations. While baby boomers and even traditionalists born 1928 to 1945 are ramping up spending, Gen X and Gen Z and millennials are cutting back as they grapple with high housing costs and looming student debt payments. And that's the latest news headlines. I'm Alan Edwards.
All right. Alan Edwards is giving us the news and information that we could use for the day. And the next thing that I always like to do as a thank you to the many folks, hey Ade, how are you? That hang out with us every day when we do the day shift here in the Brownstone, is I always like to give a shout out to the people that I know are paying attention. And we do it by city, we do it by country. And it's really important for us to do that because we want you guys to know that we recognize that you are here. You could be anywhere. You could be anywhere. You could be listening anywhere. But for those of you all who are paying attention to us on KCCR The Brownstone, download the app. It's behind me, right? And then also over here, it's up here in the upper right-hand corner of my screen. So I always like to pull the reports to let you know where you guys are listening from, how long that you've been listening. Hey, y'all, come on in. And so we can get into what you guys have been checking out, which is pretty cool, I personally think. So let's talk about where you guys are listening from. The big winner this week is Android. Android listeners, y'all downloading device types over here. I'm digging. I love it. So again, kccrthebrownstone.com. We're going through some changes right now. Excuse the dust. We're going to be changing some colors and doing some other things. So start paying attention to that. Y'all. Oh, the war is on. Y'all, check this out. So yesterday, for the very first time in the history of KCCR and this running neck and neck with Atlanta and Chicago. Yesterday, Chicago beat out Atlanta for the most listeners on the Brownstone podcast, which is KCCR. And you can download the app, you can listen in, right? So Atlanta, I guess, didn't like that. Okay, so Atlanta is back being number one. So Chicago, Illinois, you are Chicago, Illinois, and Atlanta. Okay, so you two are, again, you're not even neck and neck today. Like, I'm looking at the reports, and Atlanta has knocked you all out. Like, oh, okay, well, we want our spot back. So we just gonna go on ahead and we're gonna download the app just a little bit more. We're gonna listen in just a little bit more. So again, you want to be a part of this? I got something better for you. Listen, South Carolina is third today. Los Angeles, you are sixth, and that's okay. So we have Columbia, South Carolina, and Charleston. So let me be clear. Those are the two that are currently listening right now, okay, over in that area. We still have Montreal that is knocking us out of the park. I'm telling you, here's what's really interesting, y'all, is you can message us. So we get messages from you all when you are sending, you can send us messages. And it's called Push to Talk. And so we literally, if you're listening to KCCR The Brownstone, we can literally see your messages when they come through. And it's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So Kiev is back on here again. So I don't know who this is that's listening over here, but it's not even troubling. It's like, that is pretty awesome. Let's see. Canada is again the number one. The Ukraine is number 2. Y'all, this is going to trip you out. The United States is number 3. Isn't that weird? Okay, so we can break it down. So big shout out to everybody that's currently listening right now and continuing to listen. So we really appreciate that. Once again, you can go ahead and check us out. What we're doing today is something a little bit different. You'll notice that there's a mix that is playing right now on KCCR, the Brownstone. The reason why is because we got word this morning that our beloved DJ, Freddie Fred, passed away last night. So we're going to be playing some of his mixes throughout the day. I'm not sure how I feel about this, y'all, because Freddie Fred was down for us like 4 flat tires when we started 10 years ago. He jumped into the fold and he made mixes for us so that we could make it a part of what we call the Hot Lunch Mix. And that was where you would get a 30-minute mix to work out, do whatever you needed to do, freshen up, and then do a 30-minute mix. And we would give you a 30-minute hit that you would do. And that was years and years and years ago. So now we want to extend our condolences to his business, because he was a full-time DJ and he owned a radio station. So I understand that one of his partners is going to be taking over any shows and things like that he had. Hey, Morientes, how are you? And he will be continuing on with the business and trying to get those contracts that were signed, up and out of the way. I understand that he was also the program director for 2 radio stations, one in Monroe, Louisiana, and another in Birmingham, Alabama. And we are saddened. I am truly, I promise you, we had just had a conversation and I knew something wasn't right. And so we are saddened to find that DJ Freddie Fred has passed away. I knew something wasn't right because he kept pushing off our meeting. We were going to be adding our air personalities to the 2 stations that he ran. Hey, Cece, how are you? Good morning. Or good afternoon, rather. So I'm really, really, really disheartened by that. So let's jump into a couple of things right away that I think are really important when it comes to the Brownstone and what we have going on. Because I think you should. So again, if you are on TikTok, you know me personally or whatever, you can head over to LinkedIn and you can see me on a different screen. And I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the content. I'm good. I'm hating the rain. It's raining and it's thundering and lightning where I currently am. So let's talk about some of the things that we have coming up in the Brownstone that are really, really, really cool. So the first thing is we have an event called the Block Party that is coming up. Okay, and let's go ahead and play the quick video for you guys. If you're on TikTok or you want to head over to LinkedIn, you want to head over to YouTube, it is Brownstone Worldwide. If you know me personally, it is my first and last name on LinkedIn.
Join Brownstone Worldwide in Exhale Central, Georgia for the Summer Gala event of the season. Set in the picturesque Dove Down, Griffin, Georgia area, our gala promises to be the social highlight of the summer. Revel in an evening of elegance and purpose, all while contributing to a transformative cause, which is sponsoring college scholarships for promising young women headed to college. Experience the perfect blend of networking, dining, and supporting a cause that can change lives. The Brownstone Worldwide Block Party Gala Fundraiser. Get your tickets today.
Y'all would have thought that I was, back in my radio days, the way I tried to sound on that. I actually did that in one take. So I'm tooting my own horn right now. But let's talk about the Block Party, shall we? So the Block Party is an event that's coming up here in Griffin, Georgia. That's where we're located. We are, by all accounts, the last county in Metro Atlanta. People get it twisted. They say, that's not Atlanta. Yes, it is. We get SPLOST dollars just like everyone else. Hey, Lynn, how are you? So listen, here's what's happening here in the Block Party. So the Block Party, first of all, is our coming out party of sorts, right? As you can see, I got my KCCR t-shirt on, KCCR in the background, but Brownstone Worldwide literally is 3 separate assets in addition to our merch website, right? So we have brownstoneworldwide.com. Okay. We also have under the fold KCCR the Brownstone. I'm wearing the t-shirt and there it is behind me. And then lastly, we have Brownstone Living Magazine that is a part of who we are. Okay. Now, what's happening in the month of June is we're going to be celebrating Father's Day. We're going to be celebrating Juneteenth. For those of you all who are not familiar with Juneteenth, you're going to learn today. Okay. We're going to be talking about that in the magazine this month. How do you get the magazine? Head on over to brownstoneworldwide.com and get on the newsletter list. Hey, Gina, how are you? Good afternoon. That's the first thing that I want you to do. Get on the list so that we can get you all of the information that you need about what is happening in the Brownstone. The block party is also not just a coming out of sorts. We are supporting Exhale Central Georgia, and that is an actual organization, nonprofit, and we are helping young women get scholarships to go to college because college prices have increased. So that's what we're going to be doing with that particular event. Proceeds from the event are going to support that effort. Now, if you would like to support, what I always tell people is you can go ahead and like our page on Facebook, Brownstone Worldwide, and you can get all of the information that you need about this particular event that's coming up, right? So the other reason why is because I can never find my link, but I found it. Okay, so here's how you can get more information. bit.ly/the block party fundraiser. All right, so Lynn, honey, I'm broadcasting right now, but yes, I am fine. How are you? I am doing well. So listen, the block party fundraiser. If you are on any one of the platforms right now, TikTok, Bigo, or on Instagram, the link is in my bio for you to either purchase tickets. They're $30 to attend, and or you can raise funds for this amazing event to send some lovely ladies to college. Y'all, by all accounts, college expenses are ridiculous. My daughter goes to FAMU. She's in the Marching 100. And they put my daughter out of the dorms because she's a junior. So she had to get an apartment and do all this stuff. So it's costing additional funds that she really, by all accounts, shouldn't have to pay for, but she is. All right. So if you want more information, you can reach out to me, inbox me, whatever you want to do, and we'll be happy to give you more information about how you can support. Is this a gala fundraiser with all kinds of things? Absolutely, yes. It comes with, are you ready? A fashion show. There will be vendors available. Also, all of our fashion show attendees, the boutique owners and the vendors are going to be in both this month's magazine that's coming out and in July. And then, of course, we're going to give you the recap in September about what you missed. Okay, so don't miss that. Let's talk about what else is coming up in the Brownstone. Once again, that's the block party, y'all. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, here's what they're doing for us. The Chamber of Commerce is doing our ribbon cutting ceremony during the event. So we're super excited about that. It's going to be an all-day gala fundraiser. Here's something else that you're going to get. You're going to get an opportunity to meet me. You're going to meet Cullen of Cullen's Corner. You're going to get an opportunity to meet all of our other air personalities like Dr. Michelle Josie and also Leanne Dulce. These are folks that actually are a part of the Brownstone. You can see their shows on a regular basis. They will be in attendance. Super, super, super excited. Again, if you want to donate, if you want to just purchase a ticket, if you can attend, by all means, we welcome all funds so that we can get these coins together. All right, let's talk about the next event that's coming up for Brownstone Worldwide. Y'all ready for this? Y'all see that? I'm going to play the video. How about that? That should help. Okay. Hang on just a second. I'm going to play the video so that for those of you all who are watching this somewhere else, you'll be able to listen at least and see what we're talking about.
Get ready for the Brownstone Worldwide Neighbors Retreat 2024 on Celebrity Cruises. Pack your bags and hang out with us. The link is in your bio for those all-inclusive rooms.
We going on a cruise. We going on a cruise. Listen, Brownstone Worldwide is having its annual Neighbors Retreat. Now, it was something that we did years ago with a beautiful sister. She's a friend of mine and her husband years ago. And shout out to Dee and Aubrey and all of the things that they did. Dee Page, But we are keeping the charge going. And what we are doing is we are going to, let me pull this up again for you guys. Celebrity Cruises, the Neighbors Retreat 2024 from July 21st through July 27th. We are going to, you ready? We're leaving Fort Lauderdale. And here's where we're headed. We're headed to Key West, Florida. Then we're going to hang out together on the 23rd. Live entertainment, y'all. We got some live. I'm not even going to tell you all who we have booked, because the contracts are not signed. All right, so let's see. We have a Georgetown Grand Cayman, where we will be hanging out on the 24th. The 25th, more activities. We're going to do some tea time. We're going to actually be shooting some of our shows. So we're going to be filming some of the podcast shows right there. Hey, Dan. Hey, Prince 1290. How are you? So we're going to be shooting while we're on the cruise. We're going to be in Bimini, Bahamas on the 26th, and then back in Fort Lauderdale on the 27th. Now, we are hoping that we can get you guys to come in town a little early, because we're actually having a meet and greet on the 20th at the Waldorf the day before, and we're going to have live entertainment there as well. Am I telling you who it is? Absolutely freaking not, because the contracts are not signed. So I want to make sure that everything is everything first before we start screaming from the rooftops who we have as your entertainment for this particular cruise. If you want to be a part of the cruise, what do you need to do? You need to, number one, you need to go to brownstoneworldwide.com, and you need to get on that newsletter list so that we can start sending this communication to you. Once you get in there, you'll get a link. The link is going to show you how to register your room. What comes with it? It's an all-inclusive room with drinks, Wi-Fi, and your tips. Who doing that? Brownstone Worldwide is. Okay, how about that? That's next year, 2024. You got a whole year to get your body right. You can, pump the iron, do whatever you need to do, and then come and hang out with us. So we're really, really, really excited about that. Really excited about that. Y'all, Cullen's Corner, Hot Topics, very well may be live this week. Cullen is here. He is in Atlanta. So we are going to be doing some connecting and all of the meeting and stuff, because we got some big projects that we're working on behind the scenes that we can't really talk about, because again, contracts aren't signed. But he's here, and we're going to be going live with him in the Brownstone. We're going to do like some couch talks and stuff like that. We're going to be shooting some of those. And then this weekend, y'all, we are actually shooting a Sunday brunch, What's for Brunch, just for the Brownstone. For those of you all who are not aware, one of the shows that's on KCCR is the Sunday brunch. The video show to the Sunday brunch is What's for Brunch, where I literally don my little workout, my little work in the kitchen clothes, looking like somebody big mama with the little wig and stuff. Now that I cut all my hair off. And honey, we get in there and we cook. Yes, we cook. And then it's edited and then it's ready to go. And we have so much fun. So if you're not a part of the Brownstone and you're not one of our neighbors, I would absolutely encourage you guys to consider becoming one of the neighbors. Now, let's talk about something else that's a part. Hey there, Faye. Hey, Jalen. You're from Vietnam, Lynn? Oh, okay. No English, and that's okay. Hey, Brakisha, how are you? Hey, Cuh. I like that. What up, Cuh? You everybody's cousin? I love it. I absolutely love it. So listen, those are just some of the things that are happening in the Brownstone. You want to find out what's really happening in the Brownstone? All you have to do is like the Facebook page. You'll get an opportunity to see some of our air personalities over there. Marshawn Olanio. We have the Nicole Johnson. We have DJ Tony Sanchez that airs every Saturday and Sunday. Okay. You can call me TT. You sure can. I'm everybody's TT. Yes. And I'm some folks' Mimi's. I'm a grandmother too. Can y'all believe that? I still can't believe I have grandkids. I have 4. My oldest grandchild is, by all accounts, 13. Let's talk about that. Do I look like I have a 13-year-old grandson? Okay, that's a whole different topic. So y'all, I was going to do the news, but we have so much that's happening in the Brownstone. I might as well just continue to keep talking about what's happening in the Brownstone. Let's talk about that. All right, now let's continue to finish telling you guys what's happening. Beginning next week, we're going to be giving you more information about, first of all, we're going to do Juneteenth on Monday. Y'all do know that, right? Guess who's going to be reading the entire Emancipation Proclamation live? I am. If you want your copy of Brownstone Living magazine with the red, black, and green young man on the cover with his red, black, and green hoodie on, I would encourage you to go to the link in my bio. Hey, Apostle. Well, thank you so much, Bokisha. I appreciate you. If you want that magazine, what I would encourage you to do, go to the link in my bio. Y'all, it's $5.99 a month. Now, when it goes to print, I'm telling you now, it's going to print. You're from Ghana? You're from the Maldives. Look at all these people from around the world that's checking us out over here. Big shout out to all of the people from around the world. Go ahead and download the link to KCCR, the Brownstone, the app. And it's in your app store right now. Ask me how I know, because I have to pay an annual fee for my app to stay up there on all platforms. Okay. It is not cute. Let's talk about that. All right. So we have the block party. That's a live event. Guess what, folks? If you come to the block party, be dressed. Don't come in there with your pants and stuff hanging down. Listen. Okay. We got the cruise coming up. Brownstone Living Magazine. You want to be a part of Brownstone Living Magazine? You need to hit me up. You can inbox me. You can DM me. Okay. And I'll send you the contact information. I'll do you one better. Hold up. Let me give you the office phone number. You can call and say, hey, I want to be in the magazine, but you got to be doing some stuff. I'm going to share it on the screen here. 470-862. Hey, Tavares, how are you? Welcome, welcome. 470-862-0313. That is where you can reach out to Brownstone Worldwide and talk about advertising, talk about sponsorship, and more with us. If you want to be on the cover of the magazine, if you're looking to get the magazine itself or whatever, you can absolutely do that. So we have a ton of other things that are coming down the pipe. Now let's talk about the course yard. Yes, you heard that right. Not the courtyard, the course yard. Let's talk about that, shall we? All right. So here's what you need to know about that. We have 2 courses that have come through Brownstone Worldwide. The very first one is Brownstone Podcast University. Okay. Brownstone Podcast University is the very first one. The second one is the Magic Book. Now, KCCR is a radio station. You see that right there? I can tell you right now that we are playing one of DJ Freddie Fred's mixes. And DJ Freddie Fred was our beloved DJ. He did our mixes. He passed away this morning. And I am not okay. So if I seem like I'm all over the place, this is the reason why. Okay. Amazing gentleman. Military. Hey, Harris 92. Amazing gentleman. And so I am a little beside myself today. A little emotional. Okay. All right. So you can definitely check us out. Marshawn Alano comes on after his mix, and then we'll be airing more of DJ Freddie Fred stuff for the rest of the day. So again, you can call the office at 470-862-0313 if you would like more information. Y'all, let's give you a little bit of news and information that you can use really quick so we can get back to Brownstone Podcast University and also the Magic Book course, which is a manifestation course. And y'all, it actually works. I am living proof. I am not Muslim. I am not. But don't hold that against me. Understand? All right. Cool in the game. All right. Cool. All right. So first things first, let's talk about how inflation is its lowest in 2 years. I don't believe that, because you know why? You know why I don't believe that? Because my eggs still high. I'm just saying my eggs are still high. They're high. They are. Okay, let's also talk about the fact that on the cover of Ebony magazine is that handsome young man, John Boyega. He is absolutely gorgeous, honey. Let me tell you something. He don't know to be my son, but he sure is fine. Listen, the British Nigerian star broke barriers as the first Black stormtrooper in the Star Wars franchise. And last year, he was one of the stars of The Woman King. If you guys saw that or you didn't, it's also on Netflix right now, one of the biggest films of 2022. And now he's actually gearing up for his sci-fi blaxploitation movie releasing next month on Netflix. They cloned Tyrone. I don't even know how I feel about that. Okay. So what we do know is that he's become one of the newest leaders of the new school of Black actors. And now he's the second cover star for the month of June. So John Boyega, big shout out to you for making the cover of Ebony, the digital version of Ebony. All right, Disney is actually rescheduling film releases. That's something else. Some fans will have to wait a little longer to actually see their favorite superheroes on the big screen. Disney has pushed back several release dates as ramifications of the writer's strike and productions have paused, will be felt throughout 2024 and beyond. Y'all, let's talk about this whole thing, shall we? I need to talk about it just for a little while. Y'all ready? Let me tell you why we need to talk about it. Because they should be striking. Honestly, they should be. Because writers write, actors act, but writers are the creators of the things that the actors themselves are portraying, even if they themselves are writers. If you're not paying your writers, they can't eat. If you're not paying your writers what they're worth, and there's streaming applications and platforms all over the place that are getting paid from subscription services, and that money does not transpose over to the writer. So the writer doesn't see it after but so long. I'm going to give you an example. So years ago, when I was singing full time, I did Soul Train. That's how old I am. And I did Soul Train with the group I sang with at the time, which was Arrested Development. So we sang Everyday People. I think we did 2 songs, and it was pre-recorded, of course, and all of that. And they cut us a check. The check was nice for my performance, but every single time that the reruns ran, the check got smaller and smaller. But guess what happened to the television station that ran that every single time? Absolutely nothing, because they were still selling advertising, right? So they didn't see a reduction in the amount of money that they were making, by all accounts, from a group of artists that had created the performance. The last check that I got from Soul Train was for $30. $30. But guess what? That video is still playing today on YouTube and everywhere else you can find it. So the point that the writers are making is that every time that my talent, my intellectual property gets played somewhere, I should be getting paid. Does that make sense? If I write something or if I create something, I should be compensated for that on a regular basis, and it should not be dwindled. I couldn't believe that last check for $30. I was like, what is this? $30? But the commercials were still running. They were still selling ad space for these reruns. So theirs never stopped. Ours did. And that was the last. I think I ended up with like 4 payments from them. And I was like, how do we go from a couple? What? I don't understand. But that actually did happen. That actually happened. And I can understand why the writer's strike is going to impact. So yes, it's going to delay effects on things like big franchises like Avengers and Avatar and several movies coming out over the next few years. It's going to absolutely impact them in what's coming out. And they're saying as far out as 2031. Deadline notes the Star Wars movies have been kicked down the road like cans with December 2025 and May 2026 dates. That's insane how long some of this is going to take if they don't come to a consensus on how writers are going to be paid. I think that it's only right. And when we're talking about that, we're also talking about folks who do things like what I'm doing right now, right? How are you being paid for your, thanks for the likes, folks, for those of you all who are doing that. Thanks, Truth and Faithful. I am not Muslim. I have never converted to Islam. I don't know. And no offense. Okay. None taken this way. So the European Union has come after Google. Did y'all hear about this? Well, let's talk about it. European Union regulators have actually gone after Google today, charging the tech giant with violating antitrust laws, accused of abusing its power in online advertising to undercut their rivals. They are huge. Y'all know this, right? The AdSense, the ads that you see that pop up on your screen and stuff like that, especially if you're searching for something or if you're on a WordPress website or whatever, you're going to see ads pop up everywhere, right? You are. They're accused of abusing their power in online advertising, and it's the 4th time in recent years that Google has been charged with violating antitrust laws in Europe. So the European Union has said it's actually going to seek for them to break up Google's ad business. Do y'all remember the last time something like this happened? Or you all too young? Y'all remember this? Anybody over here on Facebook remember when this happened? When there was one phone company in the US? Y'all remember that? And they broke up Ma Bell for something very similar. Remember, okay, so let's go back to my college days. When I was in college, I was a sophomore in college, and I remember the year that it happened. The year prior, I got my very first phone in my name. And I remember I was home, I was off tour, and I was home and I was getting my phone turned on. And in order for your phone to work, you had to buy your phone from the company that gave you the service. Like, you didn't just go in a store and buy a phone. You didn't do that. It was given to you by the same company that you got your phone service from. Around that time, they got tired of that and they broke up Ma Bell. Anybody remember that? This is the same thing. You just got a whole monopoly on everything. Is it right? I don't know. Is it? I have no idea. But what I will say is I can understand their concerns. Hey, Jesus, how are you? Yeah. So that actually happened. So let's get into what's happening again at the Brownstone, right? So we have two courses, Brownstone Podcast University. I'm going to leave for last. Let's talk about the Magic Book. So the Magic Book is literally, go to the link in my bio, folks, if you want to learn more about the Magic Book, and you'll actually hear my story of how I discovered how to have manifestation work for me. Hi, Ivan. How are you? Okay. It's a real thing. That's how come you see me doing so many videos about it now, because I'm so excited to share how this actually works. And it doesn't matter what religion you are. It's really teaching you how to use thought and scripting to develop and write and create the life that you choose, that you desire. If you want more information about the Magic Book course, the link is in my bio. If you are watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, all of that, the link is actually going to be on the Facebook page under the Magic Book. You can actually see it. Okay. The course right now is super cheap. It's not going to stay that way. I'm telling you now. And I'm actually considering doing a weekend intensive where we're actually going to delve into the course itself in a period of like 4 hours. Okay. So I'm going to be sharing that a little bit later on in the day about how you can get there and how you can be a part of that intensive. I am. Yes. Yes, Mike Lowry. Yes, I am. I'm one of the vocalists. Yes. Yep. So big shout out to Speech right now. Just say some prayers for the brother. I'm not going to delve into details about that, but they were on tour in the UK and he had to come home. Okay, so we are praying for his speedy recovery. Hey, Nasty, how are you? We're praying for a speedy recovery, and I am going to move on from that. Okay, all right. So up next, let's talk about Brownstone Podcast University. Y'all like, well, wait a minute, who are you? Girl, I've been in radio for 20 years. Before that, I was in the entertainment industry, because people always want to know, well, who are you and have you been successful? Absolutely, I have. Not only that, but there are several people that have actually come through the Brownstone that are big dogs now. Y'all just don't hear about it, because most times they don't give the shout out to the Brownstone at all. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of folks actually started with us. They sure have. They Know Info started with us. They really did. I can remember the young man who started They Know Info, and he started at my kitchen table. He was a college student. Joe Brazil of the Joe Show from Arkansas. Yep. He started with the Brownstone. Is he successful? Yep. And he making money. And I'm like, look at you, bro. He always says, man, he calls me by my middle name, Vet. Oh, I'm so excited. I just never knew. So we started Brownstone Podcast University for several different reasons. It wasn't just because we wanted to, do what everybody else was doing, if you will, right? Because you don't need anybody to teach you how to turn a mic on, or do you? What you need is a strategy. And like I said, I've been in radio for 20 plus years, not to mention the fact that I'm from the entertainment industry. So I've seen some things behind the scenes that can absolutely be used in podcasting. What does that have to do with podcasting? Everything. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that and share with you all exactly what it means. Couple of things. There are a lot of you guys that want to start a podcast. You're not really sure exactly why you need one. Well, the biggest thing is if you have a business, if you are working for a major corporation, if you are part of any kind of civil government or anything like that, you absolutely should consider a podcast. Do you know what to do? You may not. Yep, you can go on YouTube and get all the information that you need. Hey, Terry, how are you? You absolutely can. But here's what you can't get. 9 modules in podcast mastery. Already spelled out for you. Okay. What you need to know. We're not going to give you fluff. You need to jump in. I'm going to tell you something. When I first started in radio, I started out doing ads only. A lot of commercials and stuff. I was doing for like ABC News, stuff like that. You've heard my voice before. You just don't know it because I know how to change it. You know what I mean? Like that's like my superpower. And so I started doing, hey, Fed Dorothy, how are you? Hey, Terry, thanks for the follow. I started doing commercials first. They'd be like, oh, we need you to come in and do a couple of commercials for us. I got so good, I would do them at the house. Sure did. I'll never forget it. And one day they said, hey, we need you to come in. I was like, really? I don't want to come in there. What do you need me for? And they're like, well, we need somebody to cover because so-and-so quit. And we need somebody to do a morning show. You giving me a drive time show? Do y'all know what that means? I was given a drive time morning show from 10 a to 2 p. It was called the Day Shift. I named it. And within 6 months, we were number 1 in my market. Not only that, wait, there's more. We created a Sunday show called the Sunday Brunch. Didn't I just talk about that earlier? So when I left the radio stations that I was at a cluster. I was the program director for 3. Okay. When I left with so much rich information and knowledge and all of that. And I continued. And we started doing, some friends and I got together. We started a show called Cullen's Corner. And it became a part of the terrestrial radio. When I say terrestrial, I'm talking about the one which you turn the radio dial, right? You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about that. Okay. And we were a part of that. And it was a talk show. We talked about love, relationships, hot topics. People would write us letters and all kinds of stuff. We started doing live events and stuff like that. We would go on tours, XYZ. Yep, we did all of that. It was a blast. I had an amazing time because it helped me to feel as if I was still, because once you've been on stage, it's hard to get that out your system. It really is. It is by all accounts a challenge. Because once it's in you, you're an entertainer, it's in you. I've been an entertainer since I could breathe. Okay. So this was just one way for me to continue to be creative and have that creative outlet. So one of the things that I did was we started doing more and more of these shows. Hey, Lily Stenko, how are you? I hope I said that right. So we started doing more and more of these shows with Cullen's Corner. I was still doing the day shift. And by that time, internet radio was becoming a thing. It was becoming a thing. This was almost 15 years ago. And we kept doing Cullen's Corner, kept doing it. And one day we woke up and there was this new genre called podcasting. Well, y'all, can I keep it 100 with you? It's just a radio talk show. That's all it is. However, some things have changed. And the biggest thing that has changed is people are doing it on their own. You don't need to have like a huge production, but it wouldn't hurt. So the one thing that I always like to tell people about the podcast course, it's not just about podcasting. It's about everything that comes with it. And those are some of the things that we had to do when I was in radio full time. So what you're learning from Brownstone Podcast University is everything that I learned when I was in radio. And I had some amazing teachers. You know what I mean? Shout out to Donna Bradshaw and her husband, right? Shout out to Mr. Rob Hill, sales aficionado. I think this dude is still selling, and I know he's got to be in his 80s. These were people that taught me the things that I learned along the way being in radio full time. I learned about scheduling and traffic. Shout out to Helen Argood and all of these people who were a part of who I became. let's not forget Sad Nelson. Sad Nelson took me by the hand and showed me things. And that's what Brownstone Podcast University is about. It's about creating that community of people that are going to show you the things that you need. Because again, it's more than just buying a mic. You can buy a mic off of Amazon, can't you? You sure can, all day long. You sure can. You can buy all of the equipment that you need, but you know what you're going to do with it when you get it. Oh, girl, let's start a podcast. Hey, dog, let's go and start a podcast. Let's do X, Y, Z. Okay. Mm-hmm. What's your plan? What you going to do? Hey, Lou Cham, how are you? I got questions. I want to know. I want to know what you're going to do when you get it. That's where we come in. So let's talk about what comes in the curriculum, the course curriculum. You ready? Module 1 is podcast mastery. Module 2, I'm taking you through radio. This is really what it is. Content and column writing. Module 3, marketing and advertising. How you make money from this? Because people doing it. Number 4 is the big one, belief and mindset. Guess what that is? That's the magic book course. It's a part of this. And guess what else you get when you're done? You get an internship right here in the Brownstone. Of course, it's virtual. We don't need you coming to the office. So hands-on experience, this is what you get. You get access to brownstoneworldwide.com. We're going to give you a login, a temporary login. You're going to write your columns. Guess what else you're going to get access to? You're going to get access to Brownstone Living Magazine, and your articles are going to end up in there, including your products that you are going to create so people will know who you are and that you're through the program. And lastly, you're going to get access to Brownstone Podcasting Network, which is KCCR Radio. We also have KZOE, and we also have Tina. Those are 3 apps. This is the main big dog right here. You'll get 2 weeks of shows, right? So you'll get 1 30-minute show one week and 1 30-minute show the next. Why is this important? Because you could jump into the big pond with the big dogs if you want to. It's on you. We're going to show you how to do that anyways. And we will hope that you would. But the difference here is this will allow you to wet your chops first. You won't go in it blind. You'll have an opportunity to really get comfortable with all of the things that you need to do in order to build your business and really become the authority in what you want to be an authority in, because who knows your story better than you? You know what I mean? So you're going to get creative new ways to engage and inspire. All of those things, right? Here's what I want you all to know. We may not be the best, but what we are is forthright in what we do. Okay? Now, this is not for you if you decide that you're not willing to invest the time and effort into acquiring the technical knowledge that you need, and not just the technical knowledge, but all of the other things that's going to make your podcast be the best that it can be. It's not for you. Okay? Now, it's not for you if what you want to do is go and get free pieces over here, and free pieces over here, and free pieces over there, and put it together and try to see if it works. We're even going to bring in some of our current air personalities that have taken some of these courses, and they're going to show you some of the stuff that they do, like guest hosting and all of the things. Hey, Big Mike, how are you? Welcome, welcome. We're going to teach you all of that. Yep, you can go anywhere you want to and get this education. However, ours is a little bit different. We're going to teach you the things that you know. And then at the end, when you're done, here's what's going to happen. You're going to receive a virtual graduation ceremony with all the pomp and circumstance. And then we're going to be, hey, Young B, good to see you. We are going to give you your Brownstone Podcast University certificate of completion to let folks know that you took the course. Then after that, you're going to get what? Lifetime access to the course. Here's the thing. Class actually starts on July 10th. And why is this important to you? It's important because we want to make sure that you got time to get ready. You're going to get your syllabus first. You're going to get all of the things first. Okay. Hey, Kenneth, how are you? Hope I said that right. Anderson Austin, how are you? Good to see you. So you're going to get an opportunity to get all of that. And then when you're done, we're going to open up the doors of the church and allow you an opportunity to stay with us if you'd like. But that's a whole different story for another time. Okay. How do you find out more about Brownstone Podcast University? All you got to do is go to the link in my bio. And that's for everybody that is paying attention. The link is in my bio. And then guess what it says? Brownstone Podcast University. That's what it says. Now, again, the phone number is up on YouTube. It is up on Facebook, 470-862-0313. If you want to speak directly with somebody, we'll be happy to give you more information. If nobody answers, we'll get back with you. Okay? Why is this important? Because you want to do it right, but it's bigger than that. Content writing, planning. Y'all doing all that? Are you planning, or are you just turning your mic on? Y'all, let's go ahead and do a podcast. You know, you see, this is what you see. You see the finished product of folks on all social media and Spotify and all these different, you don't know what they did behind the scenes to get where they got. That's what we show you how to do so that you are well prepared to do what you need to do. Okay? All right. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to chop it up with me. But here's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back. I was supposed to do it yesterday. I had a really, really crappy day. If you watch my videos on any one of the platforms, you'll see how much of a crappy day I had. And we had to redo some videos, and I was not a happy camper. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is coming back later on. We're going to be talking about Brownstone Podcast University and the Magic Book. I would like to do a weekend intensive, but I'm only taking a few folks for this weekend intensive because the Magic Book is so intense. I've learned that, yes, you can take the course, but it is so much better live. It is so much better live. And if you take the course, we're going to give you, if you do the live intensive, we're going to give you the Magic Book course. The live intensive is off the chain. Off the chain. What you're going to get with it is you're going to get the actual Magic Book journal download so you can use it. Okay. So I'll come back this afternoon. We're going to talk about it because I'm actually going to be doing it this weekend. I might even do a Juneteenth day to kind of set your mind free, your mind, and the rest will follow. Yeah. I might do it Monday. Let's do it Monday. I think that'd be really cool. So let's do that intensive on Monday. I'm going to tell you now, it's got some length on it, but there's a reason why. And we'll take breaks in between. Because I need you guys to understand that your mindset is so important. Your mindset changes the way that you live your life. It sets the intention for what your day is going to look like. And you need to be able to control that. How do you control it? That's what we teach you in the Magic Book. Hence the reason why that we got the name. You want to see why I gave it that name? Check out the link in my bio for the Magic Book. I'm probably going to share the video a little bit later so you'll see it for yourself about what really happened. And then I'll open up the intensive. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it on Monday. You don't want to miss it. Hey, Robert, how are you? Hello. Yeah, let's do that. All right, folks. So let's talk about what's coming up next week for the Brownstone. Super important for you guys to recognize. We've got some amazing people that are coming to the Brownstone. Number one, we have 2 new shows that are coming to the Brownstone, the podcast network. Number one is a show called The Real on Parenting. They're going to be interviewed next week, and you all are going to get an opportunity to meet them. Number 2, we have Jackie Vasquez, who has a show called Wealth, Assets, and what's the other one? But it's called WAP. Okay, so I'm going to have to remember the name. Hey, Uriel, how are you? So what we're going to do is we're going to be interviewing those beautiful people. And then we are also going to interview this gentleman right here. He is a part of Black Enterprise. He has a podcast over there. His name is Mr. Ramon Ray. He is an international speaker and motivator. You don't want to miss this particular podcast at all because he is the bomb.com. I enjoyed every minute of talking to this gentleman. He shared some nuggets. Y'all don't want to miss this because he's so genuine and so down to earth. And then lastly, you guys, we got Casey in the building. Casey Brown herself. Some of you guys may already be following her for all of her tips on how to grow your social media using short form video content. She gave it to us raw. It's this one nugget that I have not let leave me alone since. And I have been utilizing it just from what she said on the interview that we did. She's going to be in the Brownstone next week. You don't want to miss this. It is absolutely, and I was honored to have both of them on the show. I was honored to, interview Coach Jackie and get her ready because she's going to get your money mindset ready for you, all of the things. You don't want to miss this. Listen, it's so much that's happening here in the Brownstone. We want you guys to be a part of it. I'm super, super excited. I've got to get ready and get up out of here because I'm almost at 60 minutes. I'm going to come back this afternoon. We're going to be talking about BPU again and the Magic Book and that intensive that I have officially gone live and said I will be doing on Monday. Now, here's the thing. You can or cannot. Will it cost you? Absolutely, because it's going to cost me my time midday. But what I want you to do is to get ready because it's going to wear you out. Hey, love TikTok. How are you? Okay. All right, folks, that's my time. What I want to do is make sure that you all understand that we are here for you in the Brownstone. Get ready, get ready, get ready. There's so many things happening in the Brownstone. We're really excited about it. So check us out. Check us out on Facebook. Head over to brownstoneworldwide.com. I know that an article went out this morning about LeBron James and some other folks. So go ahead and check it out. We also have kccrthebrownstone.com and some others. You don't want to miss anything that's happening. And the June issue of Brownstone Living Magazine actually drops this weekend. If you want your copy, go ahead and subscribe. It's $5.99 a month. Go ahead and subscribe today so that you can get May's issue now with Major General Johnny Davis on the cover. Okay? That's the first thing. Go ahead and get that. All righty? So let me go ahead and end my broadcast. I will see you all on another edition of whatever in the world this was, because it was supposed to be the day shift and now it's kind of not. You know what I mean? But let's just enjoy each other later on this afternoon. I shall return to TikTok, Instagram, Bigo, and on Facebook. All right, you guys, I shall go ahead and end this now before I start talking about something else. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hey, Jeff King, how are you? Welcome, welcome. We're going to go ahead and end this now. You guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure that if you have any questions, you can call the office at 470-862-0313. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you all later on this afternoon for more from Brownstone Worldwide.